Here we're going to tie an ant pattern called the cow killer ant. First thing we're going to do is just start our thread. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a chunk of red foam that I've cut about the width of the gap of the hook. We're just going to tie this in here at about a quarter of the way from the rear of the hook, so about 25% of the way up the shank. I'm just going to wrap forward with this foam slightly to about the halfway point. And what I can do is trim out that foam. I'll just kind of lash it all down, make sure that it's secure. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in a couple strands of Peacock Herl. Just like so. Then I'm going to take my thread to about the halfway point of the fly. Here I'm going to tie in 3 strands of black crystal flash. I'm going to tie these in right in the middle of the chunk of crystal flash so that the crystal flash splays off to each side. Then I'm going to take my thread forward to about the 75% point. Once I've got that crystal flash tied in, I'm going to take my Peacock Herl and I'm just going to wrap a body. One of them broke. That's exactly why I tied in 2. Trim out the broken piece. I'm going to wrap this Peacock Herl forward until I get to the crystal flash legs here. Once I reach those legs, I'm going to take that Peacock Herl and I'm going to jump in front of them. Till I get to my thread. Now the next thing to do is I'm going to take a piece of black foam about the same width as that piece of red foam. I'm going to tie it in right up near the eye. I'm going to take my thread all the way back to the point where I tied off the Peacock Herl, about a quarter of the way back from the eye. And what I'm going to do is just take that foam, I'm going to double it over the body here, and capture it right at the eye. And then bite down. Then you can whip finish. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to trim everything. I'm going to trim the crystal flash and the head here. I'll kind of round the head. Kind of give it a round ant look. And I'll trim the butt as well. I'll kind of half moon this as well. Very carefully cutting it. And I'm going to trim these legs. I'm going to trim them so that they're about a little bit longer than the butt. Pull them off to the side. That's all there is to the cow killer ant. And you can add a little bit of super glue to the underside of this fly. That'll help keep it together. And you can get all the materials for this fly at intheriffle.com.